Hey, Shalom, Call Allah, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, Bashim Hakodash, the ones that the apostles of Great Millstone, and Shalom to you brothers on the highways and byways doing the work sincerely and faithfully and continually fighting that good fight of faith. Lord willing, we're found that number to be delivered. All right. So real quick, as of late, I've been having a hard time putting videos up, but I believe it's squared away, so I should be good to go. So I'm kind of going back and forth with this couple, and they didn't want to tell me what their denomination was, if you will, nor would they elaborate on what their nationality is. And it's funny because when you're talking to people out there and you ask these very questions, they get all secretive. It's not important. Why? Why does that matter? But again, they want to defend the gospel. All right. So, the topic came up about, the Lord and who his people are and who he chose and, salvation. All these things came up, so we treaded, I treaded lightly around it because, people just, you hit them too hard, they want to run away. All right. So after the conversation, the conversation was left. They're going to believe what they believe. I believe what I believe. And that was the way it left. We left it. But I'm going to say this, right? There's only two sides. There's only two sides. No matter how you slice it, no matter what you believe, no matter how you feel, there's only two sides. All right. So we're going to start in the book of Matthew, the 25th chapter, and we're going to get right down to the 31st verse and read down. All right. It says, when the Son of Man shall come in his glory and all the holy angels with him, then shall he sit upon the throne of his glory. And before him shall be gathered all nations, and he shall separate them one from another, as a shepherd divideth his sheep from the goat. And he shall set the sheep on his right hand, but the goat on his left hand. All right. So again, there's only two sides, man. There's no in between. There's no 3/4 of the way. There's no halfway. There's only two sides. You got the sheep that are on the right-hand side and the goats that are on the left-hand side. Now, when you get into the Strong's dictionary and you look up these words for the word goat, probaton, which means a dweller with the Lord. And when you look up the word goats, it's Ephrion, which means a wicked person or wicked people. Okay? Now, verse 33, it says, and he shall set the sheep on his right hand, but the goats on the left hand. And this is why I'm telling you, there's only two sides. All right? And we know and understand who belongs on the right hand side. The children of Israel, whom the Lord has set up, whom the Lord has chosen. It doesn't matter what we feel. It doesn't matter how we think. All right? This is the Lord's program. This belongs to the Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Okay? So what I'm going to do now, before I read any more, I want to bring out an example. Now, if anybody outside of the nation of Israel deserved any type of assistance, help, repentance, if anybody, right, it's our man Balaam. And why do I say that? Because it doesn't matter if you're a heathen or of the other nations. It doesn't matter if you believe or not. It doesn't. All right. The same result is going to take place as the same result that took place with Balaam. And Balaam was right there, man. He was, let's read a little bit. This is Numbers chapter 23. And it says, and Balaam said unto Balak, build me here 7 altars, and prepare me here 7 oxen and 7 rams. And Balak did as Balaam had spoken. And Balak and Balaam offered on every altar of a bullock and a ram. And Balaam said unto Balak, stand by thy burnt offerings. I will go. Peradventure the Lord will come to meet me, and whatsoever he showeth me, I will tell thee. And he went to an high place. And the Most High met Balaam, and he said unto him, I have prepared 7 altars, and I had offered upon every altar a bullock and a ram. And the Lord put a word in Balaam's mouth, and said, return to Balak, and thus thou shalt speak. And he returned unto him, and lo, he stood by his burnt sacrifice, he and all the princes of Moab. And he took up this parable and said, Balak, the king of Moab, has brought me from Aram, out of the mountains of the east, saying, come, curse me Jacob, and come defy Israel. Verse 8, how shall I curse whom the Most High has not cursed? Or how shall I defy whom the Lord has not defied? All right. So again, now Balaam was obedient. He was doing exactly what the Lord told him to do. Right. So let me jump down to 10. It says, who can count the dust of Jacob and number the 4th part of Israel? Let me die the death of the righteous, and let my last end be like his. This man believed, man. He truly believed. All right. Now, when you read verse 9, jumping up to 9, it says, from the top of the rock I see him, and from the hills I behold him. Lo, the people shall dwell alone, and shall not be reckoned among the nations. Okay. So the Lord has given him the visions of what Israel is all about. And this is why the man said, let me die the death of the righteous. Okay. So again, it does not matter who you are or if you are of the other nations and you believe. It doesn't. In this story with Balaam and Balak is a great example to use. Okay. Now let me jump around a little bit more. All right, let me jump to chapter 24. Yep. This is chapter 24, and I'm going to start at 1. And it says, and when Balaam saw that it pleased the Lord to bless Israel, he went not, as at other times, to speak for enchantments, but he set his face toward the wilderness. And Balaam lifted up his eyes, and he saw Israel abiding in tents according to their tribes, and the Spirit of the Most High came upon him. Well, there's another key factor. The Spirit of the Lord came upon Balaam. This man seen and saw Israel and understood that the Lord was their power. He even made a statement, let me die the death of the righteous. You would think that the Lord would now set aside, a spot for him, right? And as it is written, it said, and Balaam saw that it pleased the Lord to bless Israel. So again, the Lord was dealing with Balaam. As it just said, the Spirit of the Most High came upon him. Verse 3, and he took up this parable and he said, Balaam the son of Beor have said, and the men whose eyes are open have said, he have said, which heard the words of the Most High, which saw the vision of the Almighty, falling into a trance, but having his eyes open. How goodly are thy tents, O Jacob, and thy tabernacles, O Israel. As the valleys are, they are spread forth, as the gardens by the riverside, and as the trees of the line aloes, which the Lord has planted. and as the cedar trees beside the waters. He shall pour the water out of his bucket, and his seed shall be in the many waters, and his king shall be higher than the Agag, and his kingdom shall be exalted. The Most High brought him forth out of Egypt. He as it were the strength of a unicorn. And it says, he shall eat up the nations, his enemies, and shall break their bones in pieces and pierce them through with his arrows. Give me 1 second. Let me get some glasses. Let me just start this. And pierce him through. Where am I? And pierce him through with his arrows. Right. Now, these are those other nations that the Lord's going to do these things to. Okay? So we're in verse 24. Let me jump down to 13. Let me jump down to 13. It says, if Balak would, and this is Balaam speaking now. He said, if Balak would give me his house full of silver and gold, I cannot go beyond the commandment of the Lord to do either good or bad of my own mind, but what the Lord saith, that will I speak. All right. So Balaam believed, man. He was a believer, and he was obedient to the Lord, as he just said out of his own mouth. What the Lord say, I'm going to speak. And he made mention he's not going to go under his own accord. Okay. So, but the but the end result is what? All right. So let's just get right to the end result. Let's get right to the end result. This is Numbers chapter 31, because again, my point that I'm making is that either you are of the line of the righteous, which is Israel, or you're not. There's only two sides. Okay? Now, it says, and the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, avenge the children of Israel of the Midianites. Afterward shalt thou be gathered unto my people. And Moses spake unto the people, saying, arm some of yourselves unto the war, and let them go against the Midianites, and avenge the Lord of Midian. Of every tribe 1,000 throughout all the tribes of Israel shall ye send to war. So there were delivered out of the thousands of Israel 1,000 of every tribe, 12,000 armed for war. And Moses sent them to the war, 1,000 of every tribe, them in Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, the priest, to war with the holy instruments and the trumpets to blow in his hand. Now the points are coming up here. And they warred against the Midianites, as the Lord commanded Moses, and they slew all the males. All right. Now we're going to get down to business here. And it says, and they slew the kings of Midian, besides the rest of them that were slain, namely Evi, Rakem, and Sur, and Hur, and Reba, 5 kings of Midian. Balaam also, the son of Beor, they slew with the sword. And the children of Israel took all the women of Midian captive. All right. So that's the point. Regardless if you believe or not, if you are not an Israelite, your end in the fate is going to be just like Balaam. Balaam was a bad dude, believing in the Lord, trusting in the Lord, doing as the Lord commanded, right? But who slew him? The very people he was blessing, the very people he said he wanted to die the death as they did. All right. So all in all, you can't get around the fact that, yes, the Lord, there are many people on this planet, but as the Lord said, he's going to separate them. And the ones he's going to put on the right side. Matter of fact, let's get back to that. Let's get back to that. Let me start at verse I'll start at verse 32. And it says, and before him shall be gathered all nations, and he shall separate them one from another, as a shepherd divideth his sheep from the goats. And he shall set the sheep on his right hand, but the goats on his left. Then the king shall say unto them on his right hand, come ye blessed of my father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundations of the world. All right. Now, there's no mixing and mingling here. It's about the nation of Israel who was on the right side, whom the Lord himself said, come ye blessed of my father. You ain't slide. No one's sliding up in there, man. No one's sliding up in there. All right. Now check it. Let me jump down to verse 41. And it says, then shall he say also unto them on the left hand, depart from me, ye cursed, unto everlasting fire, prepared for the devil and his angels. Okay? So, again, outside of the nation of Israel, you got slavery to look forward to. You got thermonuclear missiles to look forward to. Okay? All these things are going to put you in a very dismal state. And, I couldn't really get into this where I was at today. We out there, talking, whatever. But even if I did, it would have went in one ear and out the other. Because of the way the things are taught by the precepts of men in this kingdom. All right. So let me end it up on this here, right? This is Malachi. This is Malachi 3:6. It says, for I am the Lord, I change not. Therefore, ye sons of Jacob are not consumed. What does that mean? Why is he saying that? All right. Ye sons of Jacob, okay, are not consumed. So the Lord said, I change not. And so in other words, the Lord is not going to turn to another people outside of the nation of Israel. And it doesn't matter how many Israelites the Lord destroys, there's always going to be that many more Israelites for him to raise up. And this is why he's saying, therefore ye sons of Jacob are not consumed. Because Israel is as the sand of the sea, are they not? So you can destroy 100,000 Israelites. There's going to be 200,000 more on the other end the Lord's going to be able to raise up. All right? So nobody's going to slide in here. Nobody else, no other nation's going to slide in here and be a part of what the Lord has prepared for the nation of Israel. As he said, come ye blessed of my father, inherit the kingdom that's prepared from you from the foundation of the earth, of the world. Okay? So all that being said, I'm going to end it with that right there. But again, there's only two sides. All right? And how do you get to the side? How do you get to either side? Okay? And it's very simple. To get to the righteous side, you have to be born through that righteous line, that lineage. Okay? Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's how you get to that righteous side. And it's self-explanatory. Anybody else on the left side is all you other nations. Bottom line. All right? So Lord willing, I'm going to end it with that, and I'll see y'all on another one. I say shalom.